Joining us on the show this afternoon is a legendary rock and roll guitar player, brand new album and DVD, vinyl bundle, all of that coming on April 23rd, Louder Than Noise, live in Berlin. Shot in front of over 12,000 people on December 5th, 2012. It's going to be amazing, and we heard a little sample of it as well, so I can honestly say you're going to love this. Welcome to the show, Phil Campbell.
Hey guys, how are you? All right.
How you doing,
Good.
Phil?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good day, Phil. Pleasure to talk to you again. Let me just get right into this one because this was, of course, the Kings of the Road tour with many dates later on that ended up being canceled. And just talk to me about the determination of the band on this tour and the ability to deliver the absolute best show for the fans.
The show was the show was a hell of a show. I'm not sure exactly what you mean, but I know that the Berlin show was fantastic. You know, the German crowd is always amazing with us, and yeah, we nailed it. We nailed it that night. I mean, we never really did any really bad shows. You could have counted the shows we did on one hand throughout all the thousands of gigs, but there's a really good one coming out anyway. It sums up exactly where we were at that time.
So out of all the shows on that tour, I mean, you're playing in Berlin. It's around Christmas time, December. You're playing in front of 12,000 people. Out of all the shows, why decide to release this one?
We listened back to quite a few tapes and things of the gig and everything, and this was the best one. This is pretty nailing it.
It was the one that was the one that was just on fire.
The one that was on fire. Phil, the last time we spoke, you had mentioned that you and Mickey have had conversations about doing something moving forward in terms of paying tribute to the band and the band's legacy and maybe bringing in all kinds of guest players and guest singers and so on and so forth. Where are you in those plans? Is that something that is still of interest? Is it on the back burner, or are you like, yeah, you know what? In 2021 or 2022, there will be this one show where we celebrate the history of the band?
Yeah, we'd still definitely like to do something. I'd be lying if I said we had a rough dates or said something like next year. I mean, with everything that's happened the last year and a half, everyone's been taking care of that basically. So there's definitely something we would like to do in the future, something special, to remember, Lem and Filthy and Autumn Wars and all the past guys, So it's definitely on the back burner. We gotta get fired up now, get back to normal after sitting at home for a year and everything.
Right. Yeah, we need a little bit of normalcy before we can go out and do something fun.
Yeah.
Let me just quickly talk about your band for a second. We'll get back to this release. Where the Bastards came out in 2020, and of course, like most releases, they come out and you want to go tour. You haven't been able to tour. Has that given you a moment to pause and think, okay, let's just get to the next new album? Or are you still planning on getting out there and bringing those songs to the fans?
Yeah, we really want to play the songs from Where the Bastards live. We had 13 songs on that album, and a great bunch of the songs I know will work really good live. So we're excited to do that at the moment. And I've a lot of fun on the road playing them songs. And then I'm sure then when the time feels right to us, we'll be back in, writing some more. We're all coming up with little ideas, in our own way, in our own houses and stuff, So when we do seriously start to rehearse, we'll have a bunch of stuff all ready to start working on. But a lot of these songs they've got to be tried out live anyway.
Right. And Phil, the band is your son's band, right? I mean, it must be a thrill to just be playing with your son, making music together.
There's 3 sons.
Yeah, the 3 sons.
Yeah. They're all my boys except Neil Starr, who's the singer. Like, yes, it's great fun.
Mhm.
You know, it's quite a unique experience. You know, but I kind of forget in my voice sometimes on stage because I'm in the middle of on stage in the middle of a kick-ass rock sound, and you know, it's just like another great rock band
do you ever
on stage.
do you ever have moments where you're like, all right, boys, like take it down a notch. We need to simplify things. Back in my day, it was less and more rock and roll. Are they trying to do like some crazy stuff, and you're just like, bring it down a notch. Let's just keep it classic, or what's that dynamic like?
Well, I don't think they want to give me a heart attack, so they try and keep it. They try and keep it at a reasonable pace.
Yeah.
You
You ever have
know.
to say to them like, guys, like, listen, your dad's Phil Campbell, Motorhead. Come on, take one from my book.
Yeah, but the thing is with a different generation as well. So you know, it's helping. You know, with the material and it all helps because they've got bands they were brought up with and bands that I was brought up with and bands we've exposed each other to. So it's kind of like a perfect world, really, in that sense.
Who are some of the bands that they've exposed you to?
Oh, I don't know. It's coming up,
Right.
Corn and people like that, and
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Limp
Well, we like the
Bizkit
corn.
and types.
We,
Yeah,
we,
yeah.
we love Ray Luzier. Ray is the greatest. I just want to go back to the album for a second. Louder Than Noise, live in Berlin. As I said before, on that tour, you ended up canceling a bunch of shows at the end. But when it came around to playing Wacken, the great festival in Germany, you decided that you were going to do that show, come hell or high water. Talk to me just a little bit about the importance of the Wacken Festival and that you would go, yeah, you know what? We know we've canceled a bunch, but this one we've got to play. And also, what was that day like for you, knowing that, okay, we're not going to be able to give them a full set. We're going to give them what we can. And what was the sort of the vibe and the energy that day for the band and the fans?
We knew the fans would appreciate whatever we could manage to do, like and it was exciting for us. I mean, I had some health problems on that tour as well, so it wasn't all down to Lem like some of the cancelled shows. So it was a bit of upheaval sort of thing and that, but yeah, we sort of got it together and everything, and Wacken's is so much fun. There's millions and millions, it seems like, of kids there. Every band you've ever met before in the past lives is going to be backstage trying to bum beer off you, and yeah, I don't know if we did like a shorter set, maybe we just missed out a couple of songs,
Hmm.
but it's full on stuff, like, so, we always feel like we've done like 18 hours on stage the time we come off.
Right. I saw you guys for the first and only time on September 16th, 2008 in Montreal at the M. Telus Theater. I think I was 14 years old, and it was one of the first concerts I'd ever seen. And to this day, it is still the loudest concert I've ever seen, too. Like, we were
Of
in the pit,
course.
and your stage volume, like, your stacks were blowing my hair back.
Yeah, that's what they're supposed to do.
So,
You remember the gig. There you go. You remember us.
oh yeah, I remember. I'm telling you, it was the loudest thing I'd ever seen. So even on the stage, like your stage volume, like it's blasting that loud for all you guys up there.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we never used to wear in-ears or nothing. And I remember one time my front monitor wedges, they actually caught fire. There was 3-foot flames coming from them. And of course, I'm not a technically minded man by any means, but I just looked at my tech and I said, electricity, fire, they don't go together. I give him the guitar, like I
Yeah.
walk, and then the following day they caught fire again. Something must have been burning up there. I don't know, but I
Yeah.
was quite proud of it the following week when I was telling everyone, like, they did catch fire, and it was extremely loud, all the way
Yeah.
through the band's career, like.
Yeah.
You
know,
literally
but
burned the house down. Talk about that though, because having your amps cranked that loud, obviously it does contribute to the guitar tone as well.
yeah, it makes it better. But the strange thing is that me and Lem, in the middle of severe volume, we could always talk to each other on stage, and we'd hear. If I said turn your bass down, you motherfucker, he'd hear that, and he'd reply with not like, will you turn your guitar down first, you Welsh bastard? We could always hear each other insult each other, really.
Oh, that's
And
fun.
quite funny. Yeah, we kind of miss that sort of thing a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you do. Years ago in 2003, Motorhead came to play this place in Montreal called the Medley. And I was the showrunner that day, and I got to drive Lemmy around to and back from the hotel, and I got to hang out with Phil. And what I remember the most is Phil had to have 2 pitchers of margaritas on the side of the stage for that show, and Lemmy had 2 40 ounces of vodka. Is that something that we're still doing at this time in 2001, or have the margaritas sort of taken the side now?
No, I've not a drink now for 3.5 years, so it's
Wow.
changed. It's changed a little bit. Yeah, I got to leave some alcohol for other
For the
people.
for the kids. Yeah, that was one of the greatest things. In
I
terms,
can't remember that, Mitch. The 2 pictures. Well, obviously, I can't remember it.
yeah, it
You
was
say it's
2.
true. It's
Yeah.
good enough for me.
It was 2 pitchers of margaritas for you, and it was 2 40 ounces of vodka for Lemmy. I don't remember having given anything to Mickey D, quite frankly.
No, he's a weekend man. He's a weekend drinker.
Yeah, I don't remember anything for him, and it was just amazing because the show started, and you had these pictures going on the side, and the band played as if nothing was. I mean, they were perfectly fantastic on stage, and I was like, wow, that would have killed me if I had had either one.
Right.
But
We're so professional, see.
Yeah. Well, that's it, Phil. Does having the booze like contribute to your performance? Like, is it a nerves thing? Like, do you need to be out there like completely obliterated before you're able to put on a good show? Or, like, does it help calm the
No, we
nerves?
we
or-
weren't. We weren't. We never were obliterated. We just used to relax us a bit.
Mm.
I guess. Yeah, we weren't blind drunk never on stage.
I was having a good time.
always
Now,
good, like.
Yeah.
Louder Than Noise, of course, live in Berlin does come out in April, and you've been going through the tapes and stuff. Is that something moving forward where every year we might see a new live release, or are you starting to look back and say, okay, now it's time for the deluxe edition of or Orgasmatron, or the deluxe edition of Bad Magic? Are we planning future Motorhead releases at this point?
I don't think we're planning that far yet. The main thing would be finding, good quality stuff from the vaults.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's like a main priority. Something like fresh, which people haven't heard before.
Right.
But if we can put good packages together as well, but give great value for money, we're not going to knock that off the table, but we wait and see.
Mm-hmm. Is there a lot of stuff that's still in the vault? Like some of the lost Bob Kulick stuff, demos, or you could even do like a live release with 3 bonus new tracks, or is there a lot of material to work with in the vault?
Well, we tape most of the gigs, but they're depending on the quality and the condition of the sound man at the time. It depends. No, we have to go. There's a lot of stuff to go through.
Yeah.
And some great playing, but the recording is a bit ropey, and some of it's all good, and some is ropey playing, but it's a bit of recording's good, and we all have to agree on stuff. So there's stuff around.
Yeah.
There is. I want to get back to Phil Campbell and the Bastard Sons for a second. How easy or difficult has it been establishing a new band and a new brand? Because, you know, a lot of bands, they break up or somebody passes away. And then, you know, a month later we have, Phil Campbell's Motörhead. And of course, we're not going to do that in this case. So was it easier to get the new band started where people go, it's the guy from Motörhead. All right, we'll give him a record deal and off we go. Or has it been extremely challenging to start back in the clubs and start back at the bottom and go, oh man, this is like being a new band all of a sudden.
Well, there's no way was ever going to be like Phil Campbell's Motörhead.
No, absolutely not.
When Lem sadly passed away, I mean, me and myself and Mick, we didn't even speak of one conversation about if we should keep the band together. It was just so obvious.
Yeah.
And out of respect for Lem, and and it just wouldn't have worked. Like, so I didn't know what I wanted to do for like 3 or 4 months, and I'd had the band together just for fun, mostly playing covers with my boys for like 2 years before we finished Motörhead. So it was called Phil Campbell's All-Star Band then. But then after a few months, we decided to start writing our own material, take it more seriously, and we dropped the backdrop saying the Phil Campbell and the Bastard Sons. That was at Wacken, actually.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't a struggle to get a record deal, to be honest. The record company have been fine in that, and it's challenging going from huge places like to starting off in the smallest clubs and everything. But it's something to be, it's something you get some satisfaction of, and things have definitely, got better for us, and we play in bigger places now. We've done some stadiums, we've done a bunch of stadiums with Guns N' Roses and different things like that, and we're getting good slots on a lot of festivals all over the world. So
yeah, because I mean, you're Phil Campbell from Motörhead. It's like if you had to go back and play in the dingy clubs again, I would just be like, oh, fuck this. I'm going home and enjoying the rest of my life.
Well, I don't mind. I wanted to do something with my kids as well, and
Yeah.
because they've always been in their own bands as well for years. They're all brilliant musicians, like, and it's great to have them with me, like, and they've earned their keep in the band and go to step up. So they were mostly playing like clubs with their other bands and stuff, and to go to the Ferrari racetrack with Guns N' Roses, like,
yeah, makes them appreciate it more.
It makes them appreciate it more.
People, yeah.
And you can turn to your sons, and if any of them ever gives you attitude or is not playing properly that night, you go, hey, remember, you could go back to the clubs. So
yeah.
So pay attention. In terms of the band with the Sons, though, are you in it for the long haul where you're going to plan on doing 5, 10, 15 years and be part of this? Or at some point you say, okay, boys, I gave you the nice shove. You're on your own. Dad's going to retire.
I got no plans to retire. But, we'll see how I'm feeling in a few years' time and everything. And it's just pointless looking ahead. There's so many, the different things could happen. But yeah, definitely looking forward to, keeping the band going and keep writing killer songs and see how far we can take the band for the near future,
And those songs are killer, man. So
those songs are killer. Let me just quickly ask you about the guitar playing. Motörhead was, as we said, very loud, in your face. Let's go. When you approach the new band with your sons, do you think of different textures? Do you want to play a different way? Or Phil plays Phil, Phil does Phil, and that's what I do. Or have you approached the recording and the guitar playing differently on the new albums?
We just try and make it, whatever makes it sound great at the end. We'll do whatever's needed. I mean, Todd wrote a lot of songs, came in with the bulk of a lot of songs for this album. And Tyler had some cool bass riffs and everything. So it makes life a bit easier for me, because with Motorhead, generally, everyone was just looking at me like
Right.
sitting on stools waiting for me to try and come up with something worthwhile.
Mm.
And it gets, after a while, you're scratching your head. Some days are easier than others, like. But yeah, it was five of us in the band now, so it was five different inputs,
Yeah.
and we're just trying to make really good classic rock music for the time being. Stuff that we enjoy on stage, and people can jump
Dance
around
along
with and
to.
Yeah.
dance to their beers.
Talk to me a little bit about that dynamic. Having been in a three-piece for so many years, is a five-piece strange? Is a five-piece relief? Is a five-piece like, wow, okay, we've got more sound, more texture, more this? Or is it just different because it's different? How is that for you to be in a five-piece compared to the three-piece?
Bit easier, like it's a bit less pressure on me.
Mm.
I find, like and there's a little bit more scope, but you try and with Motorhead, we had one kind of vision, which
Right.
so you're approaching it differently. Like Motorhead was fantastic. I'm so proud of all the stuff we did then. But it's just it was after 32 years, and it's a little change to the side, this time. So it's all good fun. It's all rock and roll.
Yeah.
Are you
I'm
still
enjoying
playing?
it.
Are you still playing with the amps cranked to 11 and wedges catching fire with, with the new band, or are you taming the volume a little
Little bit quieter now, but
bit?
people tell me it's still really loud.
Nice.
But,
Yeah. Now the boys are like, Dad, listen, we've got like 40 more years of hearing to go. Like,
yeah,
bring it
like
down for us.
I had a hearing aid fitted a couple of years ago, but I don't wear it.
Yeah, don't wear it on stage.
Oh, there you go. So listen, this brand new release, Louder Than Noise, live in Berlin's coming on April 23rd. It's available for pre-order now wherever music is sold. There's a CD with a bonus DVD. You got the double LP, 180-gram gatefold, but more importantly, there's a box set with all of that awesome stuff in it. Phil, back in the day, vinyl was the thing and it kind of disappeared and everybody's going digital now, but all of a sudden, everybody wants CDs and vinyl again. Was that surprising to you?
Not really. It was in my day, vinyl was special. You could, I'm sure you've heard this before. You can. I remember instances from when I was like 8, going on trains with my mum, and going to the shop, and I can remember which albums that she gave me the money to buy, and they smell different. You can smell them. It takes you back to your childhood and everything. And of course, as you get older, your eyes are getting worse. So it's a lot easier because some of the Motorhead albums, there's so many credits on them. Like they've got to be like Peter Cushing in that movie with a big magnifying glass to read it all. Like
Yeah.
but
So it definitely helps to have the gatefold. A lot more space.
for me it does. Yeah.
Here
And
and
CDs are great. If you can bang them in the car and everything, and but these days, I guess people have got all the digital stuff going in the car.
Yeah, but the CD, and the vinyl, it all sounds so much better than the stream. I mean,
it really does.
the music people like us, we notice and we hear it and we appreciate the fact that, bands are still putting up vinyls and the CDs. So I'm all for it and I love
Here,
bands still doing it.
And
Yep.
I want to wrap up on this, and I'll just ask you this quickly back to the Bastard Sons. When you get the band together and you're gonna play with your sons, you're gonna create new music. Do they say, "Hey, Dad, listen, we're not gonna do Motorhead stuff. We're gonna do something new," or do you say, "No, listen, it worked for 40 years. We're gonna do what works." How did you sort of come up with, for the lack of a better word, the sound for the band and what vision the band was going to have musically?
Well, they like playing Motorhead stuff. I got to say sometimes. So let's not do that one. But we like changing up the Motorhead stuff a little bit. Doing some obscure things and that. But when the people in the band are coming in, ready with ideas and stuff, it kind of the song kind of rolls along. It's already kind of set in a way, but there's no plan. We just try and get the hell out of a song, make a groove and everything.
And do you think it would be kind of weird if you went in and gave Ace of Spades a different arrangement?
I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
I've heard many different arrangements in the past, and I think I leave it there. Like,
Yeah,
The
there's no
margarita
need.
mix gives it a little different arrangement. right there.
margarita mix, good one.
The margarita. Hey, come on, that was a great. I remember those margaritas very specifically. They were all green. They were lime green. It was one hell of an afternoon or an evening.
No salt.
No salt. Yeah. Listen, I remember specifically. It was in May of 2013, and it happened to be snowing that day. And Lemmy was in the back of the van that I was driving, and he goes, we booked this gig in May because we didn't want the fucking snow. You fuckers fucked with me. And I'm like, yeah,
it's
sorry.
all your fault. It was your fault, Mitch.
It was all entirely my fault, but it was this freak event, and he was like, I didn't even bring a coat in my bag. And it's like, no, I'm sorry about that.
Brilliant.
It was brilliant.
Hey, the vodka warmed them up, so that's good.
All that stuff I miss it so much, like some of just the little quips and the funny stuff like that is amazing. Like,
oh yeah. Oh, he couldn't have been nicer. I mean, everything he said was funny. I mean, it wasn't attitude. He was joking around. It was absolutely hilarious. And it was great. And during the show, the barricade that the security had fell, and the band went off stage and stood in the wings. And the wings in this place happened to be the kitchen for the restaurant. And he says, do you think it's going to get violent? Do you think they're going to kill me? And I went, no, they're not going to. No, it's Montreal. They're not going to. He goes, okay, I'll go back up and play then. And anyway, it was a crazy night. It was a fantastic night. But thank you for all the memories, by the way, over the years. It's been great to follow.
You're welcome. Very welcome.
Absolutely. Jeremy, off to you.
All right, well, let's wrap it up here. Louder Than Noise, live in Berlin, Motorhead, coming on April 23rd, available now wherever music is sold. Go buy this, get the CD, get the vinyl, get the CD with the DVD. It's a great package. Fans will love it, so great stuff. Phil, it was so great to chat with you and share some memories, and this was a lot of fun.
And you, yeah, we'll speak again soon.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
Okay, have a great day. Bye-bye.
You too now. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.